Ground floor. Mainframe and shooting range. Laboratory. Mainframe and shooting range.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete.
Interesting. Hey.
Tough day, McCoy.
Hey.
Tough day, McCoy.
I've got no idea from that. Lock. Excuse me. McCoy, LPD.
Just a minute.
Where do I go?
Grav test on the east wing, 66th floor. Here's the footage from the security cameras. You get a pretty good look at the man's face.
How'd he get past you guys?
He pretended to be a delivery man. Dr. Eisenduller ordered in a lot, so it didn't seem unusual.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
One more thing.
I've told you everything I know, Detective. I gotta work. These monitors don't watch themselves.
Yeah, it's a tough gig. It was a Tyrell sales brochure for the Nexus series, the kind of glossy hype that ends up littering the floor at trade shows. This one was for last year's infamous Lolita model, a big hit with the all-important dirty old man market. The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row. Someone had tried to access a bunch of protected files on the Tyrell network and failed, not just once, but a dozen times. Tyrell engineers might forget their passwords, but what would the GravLab boys need with replicant DNA sequences and incept dates? Someone had tried to access a bunch of protected files on the Tyrell network and failed, not just once, but a dozen times. Tyrell engineers might forget their passwords, but what would the GravLab boys need with replicant DNA sequences and incept dates? The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row.
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building. Tyrell surveillance system recorded the whole shebang. Tyrell security will have a disc for you when you get there. You'll be good, killer.
It was a Tyrell sales brochure for the Nexus series, the kind of glossy hype that ends up littering the floor at trade shows. This one was for last year's infamous Lolita model, a big hit with the all-important dirty old man market. Jesus.
I've seen worse, but not by much.
Learn anything?
You could strain him through a sieve.
A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? I'd seen more dead animals than live ones in the last 24 hours, and now it was dogs. 3 of them. I thought about Maggie and nearly threw up. I'd seen more dead animals than live. Now I thought about Maggie. I'd seen more dead. Now I thought about... Obviously, he'd been killed with an explosive, and not just because he'd been plastered on the wall with 1,000 strokes. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The charge had been big enough to do the job, but not big enough to shatter the soundproof walls of the float chamber. But I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. This earring yours?
Maybe it belonged to that other cop who was up here, the babe with the shades and the cigarettes.
Ain't her style. Call her babe to her face, you're liable to end up with a severe limp. you spot anything you think I ought to know about, tell me.
Absolutely.
Disgusting. Kingston Kitchens, that's down in Hawker Circle. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The charge had been big enough to do the job, but not big enough to shatter the soundproof walls of the float chamber. But I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. Eisenduller had used his dog's name as a password. The Tyrell brass wouldn't be too happy if they knew I was snagging a copy of their files, but someone had wanted them bad enough to kill Eisenduller, so I figured they must be worth having. Nothing.
Lagging behind again?
Gouza didn't say anything about me working with a partner.
Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. Could be it's linked to this Tyrell debacle.
How's yours connected to mine?
I'm still fitting the pieces together. You know the Moonbus massacre that went down last month?
Gaff mentioned something about it.
The rogue skin jobs probably flew to Earth. And one of them is a demolitions expert, similar MO to your Vic upstairs.
Hell of a coincidence.
I'll call you if I find out anything more about your case.
How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to see you.
Okay. How do I make him want to see me?
Well, you could call his personal assistant.
Who is?
Don't know offhand.
Yeah, I get the picture. You know anything about Tyrell's computer system?
Security's tight as a drum, if that's what you're asking.
Somebody tried to access restricted data from the terminal in Dr. Eisenduller's office.
But they couldn't get in.
Yeah. Looks like Dr. Tyrell keeps his files safer than he keeps his employees. You friendly with Eisenduller?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisenduller, he almost never left his lab.
He afraid of somebody?
I think it had something to do with the air outside and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Smart. What was his job?
Grub Test Chief Engineer. The lab runs tests to see how a replicant would perform in different planetary gravitational fields. That kind of thing. One of the other engineers could tell you more.
You know if anyone lost an earring like this one lately?
Not one of the employees, that's for sure. The boss enforces a strict dress code around here.
How did Eisenduller's moo-moo fit in?
Hey, you know, company rules only apply to the lesser mortals.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir. Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisenduller, he almost never left his lab. I think it had something to do with the air outside and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Deals in insects down here?
You don't want insects? They're no good companion. But fish are good. I have every kind of fish for you. Goldfish, dorado, miniature sailfish. Very friendly.
No thanks. I got a dog at home.
Fish just as good as dog.
No, my dog is real.
Real? Oh, you must make lots of money.
Let's get back to insects. Official LTD business.
Down at the end of Animal Row, you see big green sign? You try there. Good luck with dog, friend. Hope he stays healthy.
Cheese. I got some new leads, Lieutenant.
Get lost. We both got work to do.
2 minutes. That's how much time I give every stranger that wanders in here off the street.
Sell a lot of stuff that way?
I don't encourage browsers. What impresses me are people who know what they want and are not afraid to pay for it.
What's the most expensive thing you got in here?
Value is a relative notion. What's significant to you might be meaningless to me.
And vice versa.
Everything here is guaranteed. The finest, most authentic anyone can get.
Let me tell you what I want, and maybe I'll impress you.
All my paperwork is in order.
Doesn't matter. I don't read anyhow. What's your name?
Easel.
Ever see this piece? Real elite stuff.
If it truly belongs to the elite, it won't show up around here. That's a white market item.
What do you mean, white market?
When something is so valuable, it's sold so fast that it's never even seen on the street. That's the white market. If this piece is real, it could only belong to the wife of a very rich man.
It's very important that I find out about this. Can you help me?
If I see something, and you can match whatever my collectors will pay, it's all yours.
Thanks a million. Excuse me, pal. I got a couple of questions for you, Captain.
First one's on the house. The rest you pay for. You want chit-chat, you hire a hooker. This ain't no social club.
Pour me one.
Just one?
One, but one good one. McCoy, LPD.
Step up. Mama Isabella cooked you something special. Put a glow in your cheek.
McCoy, LPD. Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Questions? They always need answers.
That stew's looking tasty.
Fix you right up. Only dirty chinion. It put a spring in your step, man. The ladies, they be loving you.
You send a lot of deliveries over to Marcus Eisenduller at the Tyrell building?
Eisenduller. Oh, Eisenduller, yeah. Let me tell you, that man can't eat.
Send anything over lately?
No, sir. No deliveries to him no more. Not since last month. He be way behind on his bill.
Not for a month, eh?
At least. No more till him pay up.
You may have a little trouble collecting. He's dead. Thanks for your time. Excuse me, pal.
That a 45 blaster under your coat, or you just happy to be here?
You got good eyes.
They ought to be. They're the only organs of mine that survived the Phobos Wars intact.
Ray McCoy, Rep Detect.
Blade Runner, huh? How come I never heard of you?
I just got assigned.
Yeah, I'm kind of buddies with Davey Holden. How's he doing?
Word is he's gonna be okay.
That skin job must have been pretty damn quick getting by Davey like that. He's the best in the business.
He'll be back on the job soon. Jesus. You got any decent ammo for my piece?
You mean the good stuff? 'Cause I know them police issue spitballs just don't cut it.
Not these days.
Yeah, I know how it is. If you want to drop a skin job, you need a little extra oomph. I got a few clips around here somewhere, if you got the chin yen for it.
Okay, let's have it.
You want to make it as a Blade Runner? You ought to do your own investigations.
Excuse me.
My
Might I interest you in a snake, noble one?
Not today, thanks. You know anything about insects?
I regret that I do not, noble one, save that I feed them to my snakes.
You do what?
Artificial ones, of course. The safeguards in the design of my snakes would not allow them to swallow a real insect.
I assume that this insect is already extinct.
They all died after the war, yes.
So the fakes must be pretty expensive.
If bought in bulk, the price is acceptable. They do not need to eat them, of course, but the added realism is worth every penny. Have you ever seen such craftsmanship?
Right now, I'm more interested in the insect.
Perhaps you should ask the Peruvian woman next door. She's an expert on such things and will cut a wonderful deal to friends.
I need to ask you...
Certainly the LPD must have better things to do than to question a humble merchant over and over again about the same things. Why aren't you out arresting criminals like that disreputable Bob fellow?
Bob?
He owns the armament shop up the street. He's insane, noble one, insane. He takes peculiar pleasure in agitating all the vendors around here. I cannot even go out for a Cisco whoop without worrying whether Bob is going to sabotage my snakes.
Nice-looking creatures you have around here.
See? Good product. Scorpius, my best work. Finest quality. And poison.
Isn't that illegal?
I have permit, senor. My customers demand authenticity.
This your work?
Ah, dragon.
Dragon?
See? Anosoptera. Dragonfly blade of the American South Swampland.
You sell jewelry with dragonflies?
Item like that, very special significance. Very rare, senor. State item, and most likely part of large collection. Person must have plenteous money to obtain a collection.
More than I can afford.
You try Hawker's Circle. I want to trade for this. With luck, you may find.
If this is from a collection, I'm also looking for the other pieces.
I make you a deal. I found out where to get dragonfly jewelry. Then you buy a piece, right? For special lady friend? You come back later.
I'll do that.
You take care, chasing the dragon.
One more time, hold your heart. One more time,
Hold on.
Just one?
One to one, good one. Are you taking any drugs?
one more time, hold your heart. One more time,
You move a lot of valuable goods through here? Valuable and exotic?
How exotic?
We're talking exceptionally fine jewelry in the shape of a dragonfly.
They were so majestic. I remember them from my childhood, and that was the last time I've seen them.
It's very important that I find out about this. Can you help me?
If I see something, and you can match whatever my collectors will pay, it's all yours.
Thanks a million.
Ground floor. Lockup. Mainframe. Entering range.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete. Scanning video disk. One enhanceable image found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Tyrell Grav Test Lab.
The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row. Give me a hard copy of that. A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. Give me a hard copy of that. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? Give me a hard copy of that.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete.
Kingston Kitchens, that's down in Hawker Circle. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row. You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place has been pretty quiet the last couple of days.
Partnership progress. Your GPS. I'm not going to help us.
You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place has been pretty quiet the last couple of days.
Your floor number, please.
Ground floor.
Your floor number, please.
Go away, 88 up.
88. Thank you.
Good doggy. Here you go, baby. Dinner time.
During his last election campaign, Governor Kulvig promised a bold new plan of action to clean up the worst regions of the highly toxic debris that surrounds our city, the so-called kipple. Just how much progress has been made since then? We spoke to the governor just before his weekly meeting with the city council.
Our studies have shown that the kipple's effect upon Los Angeles is minor. The radiation and toxic waste is contained in relatively small pockets, all miles distant from the city center. Nevertheless, cleaning things up out there is a worthwhile goal, especially with the thousands of specials living on the city fringes. For now, all I can say is that we're looking at several options, and I'm sure everyone will be pleasantly surprised by our final proposal.
I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath. My wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told my wrath. My wrath did grow.
Erase reset. No messages. Portrait of the sleep deprived. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Maggie, come here, girl. Oh,